Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Styles here, and today I'm bringing you guys another gameplay on the new map Rio. I don't know if this is actually a new map. To me it is. I can't remember if this is a remaster or not. To me it feels like a new map though, and I can tell you right now I don't like it, but it's okay. That'll be a topic for another day. In today's video, as you guys saw by the title and by the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about, the quickest way to get Armory Unlocks, the quickest way to grind that out. I know a lot of folks don't necessarily like the Armory system in this game as much as the previous Call of Duties, where you just kind of play, you unlock everything kind of by nature. In this game, they kind of did things through an Armory Unlock system, which I don't necessarily disagree with. I just think that they could have executed it in a little bit of a better manner, and the launch on it was a little bit piss poor because of the fact that you weren't able to win initially. Like, every win that you get is an additional point, but at first that was not the case, which was definitely something that really threw people off when they first started playing this game. Just to get into the class setup for today's video, I'm using the MCW. I got a really nice setup on this guy. Obviously, as you see, I got the forged camo. Again, going for more of the stealthy vibe on the class setup when I play free-for-all, just because I want to make sure that, I'm not being seen too often, I'm not being heard. Obviously, Kovac sneakers is a must. And basically just, hopping into the topic of today's video. So how are you going to get Armory Unlocks faster? It's playing this game mode that I'm playing right now, which is free-for-all. That's the fastest way that I've personally seen in order to be able to get these unlocks done, because the main benefit from free-for-all is the matches are usually on the quicker side. Now this is a bigger map, so this one's closer to 8 to 10 minutes, but that's a max, right? There's some domination games that can take 15, there's some hardpoint games that can take 15. Most free-for-all matches, especially if you're on a tighter, smaller map, you could probably run under 6-7 minutes. I've definitely had free-for-alls on like Rust, for example, or free-for-alls on even Terminal that definitely run a lot quicker than this game. So that alone, getting more matches per hour, that matters a lot. The other thing that a lot of people don't necessarily realize is you do not, and I repeat, do not have to quote-unquote win in order to get one more win on your Armory Unlock. And what I mean by that is, as long as you get top 3 in a free-for-all, you automatically get that Armory Unlock, because it's considered a victory because you're in the top 3. Now keep in mind, in a free-for-all setting, there is only 8 players, so you really just need to get the top like 30%-ish, and you're going to get yourself another Armory Unlock for free. I also think with 8 players on the map versus 12 or maybe even 20, if you're playing 10v10, I think the benefit to that is just the map flow is a lot nicer. There isn't as many, crazy, random, ununique spawns going on. There isn't like a lot of weird, like, spawn flips where you're spawning on top of people, like if you're playing Rustman or if you're playing Shipman or any of those, right? The spawns are very stable from what I can tell in free-for-all thus far. This is the same consistency that it's been with many Call of Duties in the past, and I also think that this game mode isn't as popular, which because of that, it doesn't necessarily have as many sweats, but I'm going to get into how that actually could affect later on. I've just genuinely had a good time when I play free-for-all. I don't play it as often as I should. I probably will start playing it more on stream once I finish the camo grind. But to get into some of the other positives on this is, like I said, going back to the 8 players thing, it almost gives you like CDL Challengers vibes a little bit, because, those ranked plays and everything like that is 4v4. And I just think that, overall the gameplay and the map feel just is vastly superior versus if you're playing like Hardpoint or anything like that. There are some negatives though with playing free-for-all. Obviously, only 30 kills. You could argue that, that's not necessarily that great if you're trying to weapon grind, but I don't recommend free-for-all if you're trying to weapon grind. If you're trying to weapon grind and get Armory Unlocks simultaneously, I'd probably recommend playing like Hardpoint or Domination. But if you're solely just trying to get Armory Unlocks, let's say you already did Interstellar or you're already on Priceless basically, this is the fastest way you're going to be able to do it. You can do every single daily challenge inside of free-for-all very easily. It's honestly probably easier. A lot of like the Claymore challenges or the Scatamine challenges, like you just throw those stuff on very common walkways in the areas, and it's free. Honestly, people don't even really run perks to negate against those things in free-for-all. I feel like a lot more people are running a similar class setup to what I'm running, which is more on the stealthy side, trying to not be seen, trying to not be heard. So they don't necessarily have, you know, ed padding, they don't necessarily have tac mask, so they're a lot more vulnerable to a lot of these tacticals and lethals when it comes to those challenges. Another thing too is I just think the weapon challenges are a lot easier. Now, then again, I haven't really done any LMG grinding in free-for-all. That's probably the only one that I'd negate against. But as far as like getting secondary kills, getting shotguns, it's very, very easy, especially if you're running the perk that I'm running now, where it's basically BO3 tracker. I think it's called LR detection or something like that, where basically it shows you the footprints of the closest player to you. It makes it really easy to be able to sneak up on people and get those kills that you need. One thing that I will mention that definitely could be an effect in free-for-all, the more that you play it, I've personally noticed the more intense the skill-based matchmaking comes into play. Like this game, I had to sweat my ass off just to get a 1 KD and win this match, and that typically doesn't always happen. It's just something that I'm noticing, so maybe as I play, my answer may vary. Although you will still get Armory Unlocks for getting top 3 regardless. It's just the thing that's gonna suck is knowing how strong the skill-based matchmaking comes into play when you're playing free-for-all. Outside of that, you know, yes, it's a little bit on the lonely side. You're not really playing with your friends. You're not squadding up or anything like that, so you definitely have to take that into consideration. Me personally, if I'm playing free-for-all, it's usually for these recordings. I'm gonna probably start doing it on stream if I'm playing solo, just because I feel that it's, you know, quicker paced game modes. It's a little bit easier for me to communicate and talk on my chat while I'm playing it. So that's just something that I personally feel that is going to be beneficial for me on my front. But again, the main bread and butter here is, you know, you do not need to necessarily win to get that Armory Unlock. That's the biggest part. Now, technically, yes, you could camp in free-for-all too if you really wanted to, and you don't necessarily have to, though. You really can just kind of run around, get the kills, and like I said, as long as you're just being active as a player, it's really hard to not get top 3. I think since probably Black Ops 2, I have not gotten top 3 in a free-for-all unless I either joined late or went AFK halfway through. As long as you're a decent player, there's no reason you shouldn't be able to hold your own. And that is basically, you know, the main topic of this video. I know a lot of folks, you know, try to say that you gotta like grind this XP thing or do that and the other. I just think it's simply just play some free-for-alls, man. Like, you don't have to do it for the whole day. Like, maybe just like a 1-hour session. And by doing that 1-hour session, you're immediately gonna cut the amount of time that you have to spend in hardcore or domination by tenfold, because you could probably get, I would say, 6 to 7 Armory Unlocks in an hour span. And that's not including the daily challenges, so we'll call that 10. So you could probably do 10 Armory Unlocks in an hour. And that's a lot faster than it is when you do, you know, kill confirm, domination, everything like that too. So that was pretty much the topic of today's video. Thank you guys for watching up until this point. If you have not already, comment, like, subscribe. You know, if you have any other suggestions or any ideas of topics that I should be talking about, then definitely leave that in the comments down below. And thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out.